Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos. And on this video there's lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you the latest news on Mauricio Pochettino. Also going to be giving you some additional information on Diego Dalot. Also going to be talking with you a bit more about Jadon Sancho. And going to be giving you the latest news on Dayot Upamecano from RP Leipzig like I did the other week. So yeah, there is lots of topics to delve into, but the first topic I'm going to start with is Mauricio Pochettino. So obviously, Newcastle United are close to getting their new owners, who are the Arabians, Saudi Arabians, yeah, if I pronounced that correctly. They're going to be buying Newcastle for around £300 million. They're going to be buying the club for around £300 million. And the Saudi Arabians are led by Amanda Stavely. And I think they're worth like £260 billion. So actually, Newcastle have got, like the richest owners now. They've got the richest owners now. But yeah, I think it confirmed on Monday that the Saudi Arabians had come to an agreement with Mike Ashley, who was obviously, being Newcastle's owner for the last, 12 or 13 years or so. So it's looking very, very likely, that Newcastle are going to be getting these new owners in. If the sale of the club wasn't to go through, reportedly, Mike Ashley, would be entitled to around £17 million. So yeah, so now Newcastle, have got the richest owners in the Premier League. But the Saudi Arabians have confirmed that they want Newcastle to appoint Mauricio Pochettino in to replace Steve Bruce. There's also Massimiliano Allegri on their agenda to replace Steve Bruce. There's also been talks of Rafa Benitez possibly going back. Of course, Rafa Benitez did endure 3 years with Newcastle. He was at Newcastle from 2016 to 2019. Because don't forget, last summer, Rafa Benitez, did resign as Newcastle manager. And now I think he's in the Chinese Super League with Delaney Fang, is Rafa Benitez. So there's a few managers on their agenda. They're also, linked with quite a few, big names. Obviously, they're linked with Edison Cavani, Dries Mertens from Napoli. I think also too Willian is on their agenda from Chelsea, because I think his current contract expires soon. So I think a lot of Newcastle fans, will be very, very happy about this. But, it's not been officially confirmed as yet. But, the Saudi Arabians are going to buy Newcastle for around £300 million because Mike Ashley has agreed to sell the club. So, like I said, Newcastle will be very, very happy about that. But yeah, so Mauricio Pochettino is on their agenda to replace Steve Bruce. I know there was reports saying before that, Steve Bruce will be given until at least the end of the season, with Newcastle. But to be quite honest with you, I'm going to make an admission. I thought Newcastle made a mistake by getting rid of, Rafa Benitez last summer. Well, he resigned, but, Newcastle, obviously, were very, very disappointed about that. So they didn't get rid of him. He just resigned, didn't he? So, there's a difference there. But yeah, so that means now with, Newcastle links to Mauricio Pochettino, it means it's very, very unlikely, that Mauricio Pochettino will be coming to Manchester United. Because don't forget, we've been relentlessly linked with Mauricio Pochettino throughout the course of this season. Obviously, revert back to December 2018 when we sacked Jose Mourinho. We was relentlessly, linked with Mauricio Pochettino, and he was our primary candidate. But the main explanation why we didn't get Mauricio Pochettino is because our preference was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And a couple of main explanations, why we decided to go with Solskjaer over Pochettino is because Solskjaer knows the club inside out. Pochettino doesn't know the club, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer endured 11 years as a player for Manchester United. Also, too, Solskjaer was a cheaper solution. We only paid, was it £1 million or so to get him in on an interim basis, so that's how much we paid to Mould, and I think we paid a further 7 or 8 million to give him the job permanently. But he also did very, very well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. So this is why we did decide to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job on a permanent basis. I think we did make a mistake, by not recommending Mauricio Pochettino in, because I think he's a very, very good manager. Now, of course, it revealed earlier on this season, obviously, this was before all the football season got suspended, that Pochettino was in talks with Manchester United and he was interested in taking over at the football club. But he did demand a few things, he did demand that he didn't want, Ed Woodward to be there. He wanted to take control of the transfers and stuff like that. But yeah, but it also says that there's been talks of Pochettino possibly reuniting with Tottenham, because it did say recently, that Tottenham have been in negotiations with Mauricio Pochettino, of him possibly going back there, and obviously, his salary getting cut, because his salary at Tottenham was around 8.5 million. Pochettino has been managerless since last year. And when he got sacked from Tottenham, he gave his verdict on that, and he did say, didn't he, he wants an immediate return to management, does Pochettino. There's also been quite a few other clubs in for him, but I think he did reveal earlier on this season, he still wants to continue managing in the Premier League, because he is well Premier League proven. Now, of course, Pochettino did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. I think he won over 100 games for them in all competitions. I think he won 159 games in 293 appearances in all competitions. I think he won around 113 games in the Premier League, in the 202 he managed in the Premier League. And analysing the vast majority of Pochettino's tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. I think they also became title contenders, was it, in one season? I think the closest they came to winning the league was the season, when Leicester won it back in 2016. But I've always liked Pochettino. I've always liked him. He's a very, very good manager in that. I think he's a better manager than Solskjaer, but my only element of concern about Pochettino is that he hasn't won anything in terms of silverware. That's my only element of concern. But he did guide Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final last season, don't forget. Also, like I said, got them Champions League quite a few times. I thought he also enjoyed a very, very good short tenure with Southampton, because, he was at Southampton, wasn't he? I think he guided Southampton to their highest ever finish. Before he was at Southampton, he was at Espanyol. That's where he began his managerial career. So Pochettino began his managerial career in 2009. So he has been managing now for just over a decade as Mauricio Pochettino. So yeah, reportedly the Saudi Arabians, who are going to be Newcastle's new owners, they want Newcastle to recommend Mauricio Pochettino in. So, this is what, they want to see happen. So now it means Pochettino to Manchester United, will not be happening. Don't forget as well, Mauricio Pochettino earlier on the season was linked with the Manchester City job. Obviously, reflecting on Manchester City's ban from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. Like I said, City throwing a lot of money at the appeal and that. I don't think, we've heard out as yet. I'm not too sure if we've heard out as yet. But obviously, City have got banned from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. And obviously, Pep Guardiola at Man City, his ambition is to win the Champions League with Manchester City, because he has won it as a manager, at Barcelona. But City have never won the Champions League. That's the only trophy they haven't won in their history in that. So, yeah, but Pochettino, does want an immediate return to management. So, that is the latest news on that. That's the latest news on that. Now, let's delve into the news on Diego Dalot. Let's delve into news on him. So, I was reading reports this morning. I was also reading them yesterday. And it was stemming from the Daily Express. And it does say, that Solskjaer is willing to sell Diego Dalot when the transfer market does reopen. Now, because obviously, Diego Dalot is fighting for his future at the football club. Now, Diego Dalot has been at Manchester United since the summer of 2018. Obviously, we did get him under the Jose Mourinho era. I think we got him in our final transfer market under the Jose Mourinho era. We paid around £19 million for Diego Dalot. He did sign a 5-year contract, so he's under contract with the club, Dalot, until 2023. Now, I think Diego Dalot has only made one start in the Premier League this season. His appearances have been limited, obviously, due to his injuries, because Diego Dalot has sustained quite a few injuries this season. He is only the age of 21, isn't he? So he is, still very, very young. Obviously, he's our backup right back. He's a backup to Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka is our first choice right back. But obviously, revert back towards the back end of last season, Diego Dalot was playing as a winger quite a few times, because he can occasionally play as a right winger, but he is predominantly a right back. I think, we are open to selling him, but obviously, we'd want more than £19 million that we paid for him from Porto. I think, we're willing to accept in the 30 odd million pound range for Diego Dalot. So he's another player, that could leave Manchester United when the transfer market does reopen. Like I said, I think we're planning on getting rid of around 5 or 6 players, when the transfer market does reopen. Anyway, I've already gone through with you, I think the players that will leave, I think we'll get rid of Phil Jones, because Phil Jones can't even get into the team now. Phil Jones has been here since the Alex Ferguson era. Phil Jones is now into his 9th season at Manchester United. And like I said, he's like our fifth choice centre-half now, isn't he? Phil Jones. He can't get into the team, and we made a bad mistake by giving him a new long-term contract last season. But yeah, I think he's one player that will go, and we can cash in for him, don't forget. I think Lingard will go when the transfer market reopens. I think Pereira will go, because they're also 2 liabilities. Pogba, his future still remains uncertain at the moment. I don't know if he will be staying or going. There's some reports saying he'll stay, and there's some reports saying he will still go. So it's debatable on Paul Pogba, isn't it? I hope we can get rid of Alexis Sanchez on a permanent transfer, but that's looking very, very unlikely, because reports said a couple of weeks ago that Sanchez is set to stay at Man United, and he will see out the remainder of his contract, because he is under contract with the club until 2023. 2022, is Alexis Sanchez, and he's refusing to take a pay cut, because Sanchez's wages at Man United are 400 grand a week, rising up to 500 grand a week with the bonuses and the image rights and stuff like that. And I said his wages were having a really bad effect on the club. Solskjaer did say back in January, though, Sanchez would come back to Man United to prove everybody wrong, so he would get given a second chance at the football club, and all of that. But, he's on loan at Inter Milan. He joined Inter Milan on loan last summer. Despite the fact that he's on loan at Inter Milan, we're still paying the vast majority of his wages. We're paying him around 300 grand a week, and Inter Milan are paying like the other £100,000 a week. So let's just put that into the equation. But his international manager, he came out recently, like he updated you yesterday, and he said that Sanchez has endured a difficult time at Inter Milan. I think he's only made like 2 starts in the Serie A for Inter Milan as Alexis Sanchez. And also, because he's had an ankle injury, and obviously he endured a difficult 18 months at Manchester United, because he sustained quite a few injuries, when he was with us, did Alexis Sanchez. And obviously he didn't live up to expectations at Man United, as we all thought he would have done. Reflecting on what he did in his 3.5, 4 years with Arsenal. He also played under Pep Guardiola's guidance when he was a lot younger at Barcelona. But we thought it'd been an exceptional signing, because we got Sanchez as part of a swap deal of Mkhitaryan going to Arsenal back in January 2018. But yeah, so we need to try and get rid of him on a permanent transfer. Rojo, I think, we'll try and get rid of him on a permanent transfer. He's on loan at Estudiantes at the moment, is Rojo. He did say recently, Rojo's keen on getting his loan extended with Estudiantes. Rojo's like our sixth choice centre-half, so there's no way he's going to get in the team, so there's no point in him coming back after his loan spell with Estudiantes. Chris Smalling, I think, we'll probably get rid of him on a permanent transfer. Because obviously, he's on loan at Roma at the moment. And I've got to say, he's enjoyed a very, very good start. He's enjoyed a very, very good start, with Roma. He's on loan now. He's enjoyed a good season with them. But obviously, due to financial difficulties and stuff, Roma may not be able to get him permanently, like it said quite a few weeks ago. But I don't think Manchester United will take him back. Smalling did enjoy 9 years at the football club, so he was a long-serving player. And, we have still got a couple of players. There's still players here from the Ferguson era, Smalling, Rojo and De Gea. But, we could actually, get rid of Ferguson's, long-serving players and, David De Gea, he's still here from the Ferguson era. Don't think we'll get rid of him, though, when the transfer market does reopen. So, yeah, we are going to get rid of players, of course, because obviously, we want to generate funds, and if we get rid of players, our transfer budget will increase. Of course, our summer transfer budget is going to be reduced due to the financial impact of the coronavirus crisis. So to a lot of teams, summer transfer budgets are going to get reduced. So there you go. So now let's delve into news on Dayot Upamecano, if I've pronounced it right. Obviously, plays for RP Leipzig. So I've just been reading a few media outlets, and I think this is stemming from France Football, and they've actually said that we've overtaken Arsenal in the race for Dayot Upamecano. Because, don't forget, Arsenal have been relentlessly linked with the player, because Arsenal are in search for the centre-half. Now, obviously, Arsenal have got a few centre-halves in the team. Don't forget, was it last summer, if I'm right, they got David Luiz in from Chelsea, was it, for around £8 million? Wasn't their first choice, but, Arsenal just saw it as that he was a cheap solution. Obviously, they've got William Saliba that's expected to come in when the transfer market does reopen from St Etienne. So they're looking for a centre-half to go alongside William Saliba. Also, too, they got Pablo Mari in January. I think they got him on loan. I think they do have an option to make the deal permanent. Whether they do or not, I do not know. I don't think he's had a good start to his Arsenal career, Pablo Mari. And also, too, they got Cedric Soares in from Southampton. So they are looking to get a centre-half in Arsenal. But they have been relentlessly linked with Dayot Upamecano. I think it did take on to the media that he is available for around £35 million. He does actually have a release clause, is it, of around £50 million in his contract with RP Leipzig, Dayot Upamecano. It said the other week as well that Manchester City had expressed their interest in him, because obviously, Manchester City are in search for the centre-half. They're in search for the centre-half. I think they've got a few centre-halves. Obviously, they've got Otamendi, they've got Fernandinho, aren't they? Well, they can play centre-halves. They've also got John Stones, but, he doesn't get enough chances in the Manchester City team. They've got Laporte, but, Laporte has been injured throughout the course of this season. So looking for someone to go alongside Laporte in their back line at Manchester City. But there's been quite a lot of centre-halves on their agenda. But, yeah, so revert back to what I said regarding Dayot Upamecano, would you like to see him come to Manchester United? Do you think he'd go well alongside Maguire and Victor Lindelof in our back line? Now, I think he's into his third season at RP Leipzig. Is Dayot Upamecano. I think he's made over 100 appearances for Leipzig in all competitions and around 70-odd in the Bundesliga. That's his appearances. His current contract expires next year in the summer of 2021. Now, RP Leipzig, I think, paid around €10 million for Dayot Upamecano from Red Bull Salzburg. He is only the age of... How old is he now, Dayot Upamecano? Is he 20 or is he 21 years of age, if I'm right? But yeah, so he is a centre-half, and there's still some reports emerging out saying, that we do want to recommend a centre-half in. We're still in search for a centre-half. It's not really a priority area for Man United, is it? Obviously, the priority areas is that midfield. We need a right winger, and we also need a centre forward. But we've got a lot of centre halves in the team. We've got Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first choice centre halves. You've got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our backup centre halves. You've got obviously Foster Mensah that can play as centre half. And obviously, you've got the likes of Phil Jones that's still here. So we've got too many centre-halves in the team. But there again, we get rid of Smalling and Jones, then it will free up a bit more room, won't it? So, yeah, so reportedly, we have overtaken Arsenal, for Dayot Upamecano. So let me know in the comments below if you would take him at Manchester United. Just let me know in the comments below. Now, let's delve into the news on Jadon Sancho. Now, the news is on Jadon Sancho that it said that Jadon Sancho was close to joining Manchester United back in 2017. This was before he joined Borussia Dortmund. We was close to getting him, but we didn't. So he joined Borussia Dortmund in 2017 now. Jadon Sancho is into his third season at Borussia Dortmund. I've got to say, since his arrival in Germany, he has been a revelation for Borussia Dortmund. I think he was dropped in quite a lot of games though earlier on in the season. Borussia Dortmund, of course, paid around, was it £8 million in for Man City back in 2017. But obviously, Jadon Sancho is expected to leave Borussia Dortmund when the transfer window does reopen. We are emerged as the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho because recent reports have come out and said that, he's agreed personal terms with Manchester United's Jadon Sancho. Everything has been agreed with the player except the fee. All we need to do now is come to an agreement on a fee with Borussia Dortmund. And Jadon Sancho's expected to cost us at least £100 million, or we could end up paying £120 million. But either figure is going to make him a record signing in the Premier League. It's going to make him our most expensive signing. And it's going to make him the most expensive British player in history, Jadon Sancho. So it basically says, the length of Sancho's contract, his salary, his bonuses and his huge buyout clause have all been agreed. We just need to come to an agreement now on a fee. Jamie Redknapp's given his verdict on it and he believes Jadon Sancho will be, a good addition to the squad if he comes to Man United, and he will handle the play well at Manchester United. Yes, he will. Obviously, it said recently though that Borussia Dortmund were willing to offer Jadon Sancho a new contract. They were willing to offer him a new contract worth around £165,000 a week if he was, to turn down and move to the Premier League. So Borussia Dortmund were willing to make Jadon Sancho their second highest paid player behind Marco Reus, because Marco Reus is, Borussia Dortmund's highest paid player at the moment. Now, of course, it said last year as well that Borussia Dortmund wanted Mason Greenwood as part of a swap deal of selling Jadon Sancho, but obviously, we've got no intentions of letting Mason Greenwood go because Mason Greenwood's in his first season in the senior squad. And I've got to say, he has been a revelation. Mason Greenwood's got 13 goals in all competitions this season, or is it 12? He can play as number 9, he can play on the right. He's a backup at the moment, but I think in the next year or so he will emulate to Rashford's level, or probably will end up overtaking Marcus Rashford's level. I expect Mason Greenwood to get more chances going on into next season because he seldom starts in the league. He's started more in the cup games throughout the course of this season. But obviously, it was actually, saying that Jadon Sancho could reject a move to Manchester United if we, fail to qualify for the Champions League, because we've been relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho. Obviously, the main explanation why we didn't get him last year is because we had no Champions League football to offer. There has been a lot of uncertainty over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future at the football club. But, we're not the only club that have been in for Jadon Sancho. Obviously, Chelsea have been in for him. It recently got revealed that Jadon Sancho is a lifelong Chelsea fan. So I did say maybe in that aspect, there could be a slight chance he could go to Chelsea, but he won't go to Chelsea. Obviously, he began his career in London with Watford because he was at Watford for several years with Jadon Sancho. Also, too, Madrid were in for him, but they're no longer in for him. Liverpool were in for him, but, Liverpool are no longer in for the player. But it's looking likely, he's coming to Manchester United. And I think the beneficial things about us recommending Jadon Sancho is that he's well proven in the Premier League, because he did enjoy 2 years with City, but he had to leave City because he didn't get any first team opportunities at City. Plus, he's got a good friendship with Marcus Rashford. That's another reason why, and I think he's been in regular contact with Marcus Rashford, and he's predominantly a right winger, and Manchester United are in search for a right winger. I still think Sancho's under contract with Dortmund until 2022, but I think Sancho will go well alongside Greenwood, Rashford and Martial and that in our attacking line. He really, really will, and I think it will be one of the club's best attacking trios, if we can get Jadon Sancho in. But Jadon Sancho's only the age of 20, and he's just recently turned 20, not too long ago. I think, we would be willing to offer him the number 7, because we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But like I've mentioned before, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. We've been working on Jadon Sancho's contracts for quite some time. I think it did say we've been in negotiations with his agent for around a couple of months. But probably know Jadon Sancho's the only big money signing we'll make. But, we've already said how many signings we want to make. We want to make around 4 signings when the transfer market does reopen, because Solskjaer believes we need around 4 signings to become title contenders next season. And, I want Manchester United to win the league within the next 2 to 3 years. I want us to win it next season. We probably won't win it next season, but I think we can definitely, minimum challenge next season, because we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. And, we are the most successful team in England because we've won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. But, we haven't won it for 7 years. We haven't won it for 7 years and that. But like I mentioned, Solskjaer has got a lot of confidence, going into the market, when it does reopen, because Solskjaer did say the other week, he insists that we will exploit the transfer market when it does reopen. And Solskjaer is very convinced that we can get the right calibre players in and we can get the right number of players in, because he knows that a lot of teams are under financial pressure. And, teams will obviously, be forced into selling their players, to generate money and stuff like that. So he believes, we can get the right players in. And I've got to say, I think, we have really, really improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. What I mean is, I think, we have been a bit more sensible with our recruitment. I know, obviously, we've been criticised because, we have overpaid for players in recent years and stuff like that. We paid 89 million for Pogba, 75 million for Lukaku, 50 million for Fred, 40 million for Matic, 80 million for Maguire. So we're definitely not known for overpaying for players. But we've been a bit more sensible with our recruitment under Solskjaer, to be fair, which is very, very good. But so far, Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at Manchester United. He didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window, but in the 2 previous windows, he has recruited 5 players into the football club and spent around £220 million. Obviously, last summer got Daniel James in for 15 million, and Wan-Bissaka in for 45 million, was it? Harry Maguire in for 80 million, and in January he got Bruno Fernandes in for 65 million with add-ons included. And obviously, he got Odin Igalo in on loan. So far, he has made 5 signings at the football club. 4 permanent signings and got 1 player in on loan. So I've got to credit, the players, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has recommended in so far. And Solskjaer has been here now 16 months, so he has been at the football club over the year. But he has worked out his transfer strategy, and obviously, he still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United, because he has been quite a lot of British players on our agenda. 3 of the 5 players he recruited in last summer, of course, were British, and stuff like that. But it is good that he's revealed his plans when the transfer market reopens, because Solskjaer has got the backing of Ed Woodward. He's also got the backing of the Glazers. The good news is that Ed Woodward is no longer involved in our recruitment process, which is very, very good news. We've been very critical of Ed Woodward for several years, especially this season as well. I think Ed Woodward's been here since like 2012 or 13. The Glazers, they've been here since 2005 or 6. They've taken over £1 billion out of the club, since they're taken over. So we've had a lot of doubts about the club's ownership as well throughout the course of this season. But Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows at Manchester United. I think he needs time to build the next great Manchester United team. But like I said, he's still in the process of rebuilding, because, he's still inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players, because, Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. Obviously, he enjoyed 2.5 years at Manchester United, did Jose Mourinho. The main explanations why it didn't work out is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players. The board went back in the signings that he wanted to recommend, and he did win 2 trophies in his first season, but I just think we recommended Mourinho win too late and stuff like that. And I've got to make an admission, I've seen some changes under Solskjaer, like the tactics have changed, the personnel and that's changed. A lot of players have improved under Solskjaer, because a lot of players were actually inconsistent under the Jose Mourinho era. And Solskjaer was talking about a while back, how he had to overhaul Manchester United when he replaced Jose Mourinho. and that. But yeah, he recruited a lot of players, and Mourinho brought Lindelof in, he brought Bay in, he brought Zlatan Ibrahimovic in. He's no longer here now though. He brought Fred in, he brought Matic in. Yeah, other players he brought, their players he brought in. He brought Sanchez in, he brought Mkhitaryan in, he brought Lukaku in, he brought Pogba in. So yeah, he brought a hell of a lot of players in, did Jose Mourinho. There might be a few others I haven't mentioned as well, but brought a hell of a lot of players in. Obviously, Solskjaer still inheriting a couple of players even from the Van Gaal era, because Van Gaal recruited a hell of a lot of players in. Louis Van Gaal brought players like Morgan Schneiderlin in, he brought Schweinsteiger in, he brought Memphis Depay in who enjoyed a difficult time at Man United, he brought Rojo in, he brought Darmian in, he brought Falcao in, he brought Di Maria in. These are all the players, that Louis Van Gaal brought in to Manchester United. But he obviously, he got rid of a lot of the players, that we had under the Alex Ferguson era. Don't forget, did Louis Van Gaal. But Louis Van Gaal spent quite a lot of money at the football club, and we did win the FA Cup under Louis Van Gaal's guidance. And obviously, there's still Mattery from the David Moyes era. Of course, Moyes enjoyed 8 or 9 months with the club. He's enjoyed the shortest tenure with the club since the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, we knew Moyes was never going to be the right man. Of course, Moyes he brought Fellaini and Juan Mata in, yeah, and spent around £60 million. So yeah, so taking into account Solskjaer still inheriting players, from other managerial, eras and stuff like that. And like I said, there's still a couple of players here from the Alex Ferguson era. So Solskjaer, does deserve time at Manchester United. I don't think he'll replicate Ferguson's legacy. Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years though at the football club and recommended him in. But look what he went and accomplished after, not winning out in his first 4 years. It was absolutely unbelievable. Won the vast majority of our silverware under Alex Ferguson. So let's just put that into the equation. Klopp didn't settle in straight away at Liverpool. Took him time to emulate to the level that he's at now. So some managers, do deserve time, let's be honest. But like I said, I'm willing to back Solskjaer. I know I've been very critical of him this season, but he does deserve more time. We have enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season for 30 years. We haven't been so good against lower opposition. But I've got to credit Solskjaer because his approach to the big games have been very, very good. Because we've taken like 17 points against the big six sides this season. I still don't think Solskjaer knows his best formation. That's something he's got to work out on. He needs to work out on that, does Solskjaer. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in, so I've got to credit him for that. He's promoted the youth very, very well because the young players have been given their opportunities. So let's just put that into the equation. Obviously, yesterday, I give you obviously the news on Kane. I've been keeping up to date with what's been going on with Harry Kane regularly. We're not going to be signing Harry Kane now anyway. Obviously, there's been a few centre-halves on our agenda. But I think there's around 14 or 15 players in total on our agenda. So there you go. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. Take care. God bless you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.